Chosen seed. You see, looking back at where I was in the past, on a low vibrational state, still asleep, and looking back where I am now as a spiritual awakened being, I realized one thing. I realized that my spiritual team was always there. They were always there. It's the fact that I was in this low vibrational state in the matrix, caught up in all of these illusions and this distraction that was created by the matrix, so you wasn't able to tap in. But now that I'm tapped in and now that I'm unplugged from the matrix, it all makes sense. You see, spirituality is very deep. It's very deep. And when you are an awakened soul, it simply means that you lack spiritual wisdom. And when you lack spiritual wisdom, you're not able to tap in to the divine. When you lack spiritual wisdom, you're not able to see beyond the veil, even though your spiritual team is showing you these things. You take it as just how it is. For example, when I was in a low vibrational state, my spiritual team was always communicating with me. Whenever time there was a spell work after my life, whenever time there was any form of death after my life, whatever the plans was the enemy was plotting against my life, you will always see it. But you don't have the spiritual wisdom to tap in and fight against these things. Oh, you should. This is why in the sleep state, the enemy had so much room over us as a chosen seed, because we lack spiritual wisdom, and this is why our spiritual team has to do all type of things. Sometimes our spiritual team have to even give the enemy leeway over us to force us to realize that this is not an illusion. Things that you're hearing, things that you're seeing, things that you're experiencing is not just what the matrix created it for you to think. This is the real life. This is the real thing. My spiritual team was always there. My animal guides. When I was in a sleep state, I was always surrounded by doves. Whenever time I went outside, I always see doves. Sometimes I always see the owls. And now that I am awakened, I know that the owl and the dove, they are my animal guides. They're always there. It's just we as a chosen seed didn't have the spiritual wisdom to tap into these things and raise our frequency and our vibration. But personally for me, it was all part of a learning process, because how could a man gain wisdom towards these spiritual things and he didn't go through the rough? Because you see, wisdom is knowing what to do when certain things happen in your life. So when you have the spiritual wisdom and you see what is ahead of you, you know exactly what to do. So in your sleep state, when you see these things, you don't know what to do because you lack wisdom. So we had to go through these things. My spiritual team was always there. Angels were always there. Angels were always there. They were always showing us the signs in one way or the other. Always. They were always there. It's just, it's as I say again, we lack spiritual wisdom. So all these things unfold in front of our eyes, and we just see it for what it is. Our ancestors, our angels, our spirit guides, they were always communicating with us. And the funny thing is now, when you awaken and you start to walk in your purpose, it all come back to you. Everything from the past when you was in a sleep state, it all comes back to you. It's like a deja vu. It's like a deja vu because things that you start to experience, you realize that you realize that you go back in time and you say you experienced this before. You used to see these things before, but you was not just able to tap in. You was not just able to tap in to the divine, to the Most High Mother and Father. And now that I'm fully awakened and I know myself, I know my purpose, I know what I'm here to do, it's so much easier. It's so much easier because now you have the wisdom. Now you have the wisdom to know, hey, this is not just what I'm seeing. You have the wisdom to know that this is how I deal with this matter, this is how I deal with that matter. Because they were always telling us what's going on. Always. In every shape, every way, every form. They were always leaving nudges, they were always leaving breadcrumbs. But it was a slow process. It was a slow process, and it's a training. Because every day, every time you come up, you wake up to the next day in the illusion, you're starting to learn. You're starting to learn more and more and more. And then now the universe is going to send your soul family. The universe is going to send a soul family to you. It could be through a song. It could be through a video on YouTube or TikTok, anywhere at all. The universe is going to send whatever you need to give you that wisdom. And for the chosen seeds out there who is in that state right now of sleeping state, it's going to resonate with them. This message will resonate with them. Those who were in that state and gradually coming out of that state, this message is going to resonate with them so much. Or who are the ones that even leave that stage, it's going to resonate with their soul so much. Because my spiritual team was always there. They were always there. The Holy Spirit was always there. The Most High Mother and Father was always there. This is why now, as a chosen seed, we have so much wisdom. Because our spiritual team is going to work overtime to make sure that you learn these lessons. Your spiritual team is going to make sure that over time, they're going to work very hard to make sure that you connect to the divine. Sometimes it's going to be hard. Sometimes you're going to get drawn back in to the darkness. Because remember now, in the sleeping state, you start to do certain things that after a while your soul and your spirit gets to love it. Love the drinking, love the smoking, the partying. But when your eyes start to open now to this reality, and you start to see things different from what other people see, all those things, you're gonna feel disconnected from them, and you're gonna gradually stop doing these things. Because now you're gonna know that you have a calling on your life. And this is the point now where everybody now is gonna start say that you're crazy. This is the part now where they're gonna say, oh, he says hearing things and he's seeing things and he's seen angels and he's seen this and he's seen that. Now you have this to deal with. But you have to always remember that the Most High Mother and Father always have your back. And Mother Nature always have our backs. So you have to stick to your mother. Because she would never turn her back on you and she would never say that you are crazy. And she would never say that you're talking foolishness. Because there's gonna come a time in your life as a chosen seed who is awakening now. You're gonna realize that Mother Earth and Mother Nature is the only one you can go to. Because she's the only one who's gonna understand you for a period of time. So as I say, spirituality, it's very deep. It's very deep. And looking back at my life, couple years when I was in the darkness and things that I'm experiencing now, my spiritual team was always by my side.